This show's called Storytellers, and I'll sing a couple of verses of a song that you might know. Message in a bottle. A year has passed since I wrote my notes. I should have known this right from the start. Only hope can keep me together. Love can mend your life, but love can break your heart. I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle. Message in a bottle. So now, but as you probably know, if you live in a big city, it's very easy to live in surrounded by millions of people and to feel isolated. And I've always had a sort of Robinson Crusoe fantasy, you know, that I feel loneliness at the same time I kind of relish it, which is pretty misanthropic, really. I don't really like people that much, but that's where this song came from. So the first verse, as you know, it's about a castaway on a desert island, and the song is kind of like a sea shanty in that. You know, the lines end with O, like C-O and me-O and B-O and whatever. And then the second verse, it's more about a sort of psychological reality of those wounded in love, you know, existential loneliness, if you like. It's always been my belief that songwriting is good therapy, particularly for those who are emotionally challenged, let me put it that way. And I'll explain it like this. There are certain rules for songwriting. You have a verse, a chorus, a second verse, a chorus, what's called a middle eight, which I'll explain later, or a bridge. Then you have a third verse, a chorus, and a coda, which is the play out. So having established this character who's feeling lonesome in the first two verses, I don't want to just repeat myself in the third verse. You know, the guy's crying in his beer for a third verse. That's boring. What happens with the structure of a song is it forces you to propel a story, if you like. There has to be some kind of development, and this is what the middle eight is. The bridge illuminates a change of mood, a change of heart, and you find yourself telling stories automatically just by obeying the rules of songwriting. So I'll go back to the third verse now. So you'll hear some sort of development. You've heard how miserable this guy is. And this is how I developed it. Walked out this morning, I don't believe what I saw. 100 billion bottles washed up on the shore. Seems I'm not alone in being alone. 100 billion cast away, looking for a home. I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle, yeah, yeah. Message in a bottle. Message in a bottle, yeah, yeah. Message in a bottle. I'm sending out an SOS. I'm sending out an SOS. Sending out an SOS. Sending out an SOS. Roxanne, you're very kind to me.
Every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you. And every single day, and every word you say, every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. Oh, can't you see? You belong to me. And my poor heart aches with every step you take, every move that you make, and every vow you break, every smile you fake, every claim you stick, I'll be watching you.
All right. Now there's please. There we go again. I've set up this situation of this character who's terminally miserable. I'm not a manic depressive, I have to tell you. There's absolutely nothing original about it, and yet the song has enormous power, and I say this with all modesty. And I try and work out why, and I think the reason is it's because it's very ambiguous, this song. I wrote it initially as a seductive love song, and yet my life began to invade the song unconsciously, because at the time I wrote this song, my life seemed to be falling apart. I was very successful at the time, and yet my band was falling apart, my first marriage was falling apart, I was falling apart, and I think that invaded the song. And for me, the song is quite dark. And it's not about seduction, and it's not about love and tenderness, it's about surveillance and control. I will be watching you. And I get some letters sometimes, you know, this is our song, my wife and I love this song, and we fell in love to this song, and we always play it on our, you know, anniversary, and I'm thinking, man, this is really sick. But I'm not saying that's wrong, because that was my intention, but you know, the song is quite dark for me, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It just goes back, and it's a big circle, and the guy is trapped in his obsessions, and he just simply can't get out of that. I think it's quite sad, actually. This song, as I said, was very successful in the 80s, and I think I'm safe in saying it was one of the songs that defined the 80s, and it was a perfect song for Reagan's America in a way, you know, that sort of idea of the Star Wars fantasy of protection and surveillance at the same time. So by accident I wrote a song for Ronald Reagan, so we've done the first two verses. Let's go to the bridge now, where you would normally have some sort of release and some sort of change of heart. No such thing. So it's an F chord, right? 2, 3, 4.
Still gone, I've been lost without a trace. I dream at night, I can only see your face. I look around, but it's who I can't replace. I feel so cold and I long for your embrace. I keep crying, baby, baby, every move that you make, every vow you break, every
1, 2, sunflowers. Thank you.
You'll remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of body. You'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold. And so she took her love far to gaze a while upon the fields of body. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love among the fields of body? You'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we lie in fields of gold. I see the west wind move like a lover's soul upon the fields of body. Feel her body rise when you kiss her mouth among the fields of gold.
In the middle of the song, the bridge we're about to sing, the singer realizes that he's made promises of love before and broken those promises. But he commits himself this time to make a promise that will last. And I think for men, it's something that you mature into. I think it takes a lot of maturity to be committed to one person. And I am committed to one person, a person I love very much. But it's something that men have to learn. I think our genetic programming is such that our agenda is slightly different to those of women. You know, we make promises and have no intention of keeping them. We want one thing, you know. We have one thing on our minds. But then as you get older, you realize that you have to make a commitment because that your happiness depends on that. And, you know, our human nature really is no excuse for any kind of behavior. And I'm reminded of the film The African Queen with Katharine Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart. And at one point, Katharine Hepburn says to Humphrey Bogart, "Mr. Allnut, human nature is something we're put here to rise above." And I think that's a great put down for all men. So let's sing the bridge. 2, 3, 4.
I never made promises lightly, but there have been some that I've broken, and I swear in the days still left, we walk in fields of gold. We walk in fields of gold.
Okay, Dominic, it's your moment.
Now many years have passed since those summer days among the fields of body. See the children run as the sun goes down among the fields of gold. You'll remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of body. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of gold. Oh, stay.
Thank you. Okay, this next part of the show I'm really looking forward to. You'll see why in a minute. But it's my destiny to be the king of pain. This next part of the show I'm really looking forward to. You'll see why in a minute. And the reason is that I'm replacing one of the greatest piano players on earth with me. This is Kenny Kirkland, by the way. So, I'm a terrible piano player, but that's why I write songs. But I wrote this song at the piano, so I want to show you how terrible it is when songs start. There's a little black spot on the sun today. That's my soul up there. It's the same old thing as yesterday. That's my soul up there. There's a black hat caught in a high tree top. That's my soul up there. There's a flagpole rag and the wind won't stop. That's my soul up there. I have stood here before inside the pouring rain, with the world turning circles running round my brain. I guess I'm always hoping that you'll end this rain, but it's my destiny to be the king of pain. Thank you. Well, I enjoyed that. I was in Jamaica, and I was looking at the sun one day, and I noticed some sunspot activity. And the following conversation took place with my significant other, Trudy, who was suffering me at the time. And I wrote down the conversation. I find it in my journal here. I say, there's a little black spot on the sun today. And Trudy waits expectantly for the payoff. I say, that's my soul up there. And Trudy lifts her eyes to heaven and goes, there he goes again. The king of pain. So when I saw the black hat and the tree and the flag, there was no stopping me, you know. Anyway, we'll finish the song with the great Kenny Kirkland on piano. Actually, this song has also made me famous for writing really depressing lyrics with a very jolly tune, you know. So, in this next bit, if you do this, I'll do it anyway. You'll see what I mean. 1, 2, 3. The king on a throne with his eyes torn out. There's a blind man looking for a shadow of doubt. There's a rich man sleeping on a golden bed. There's a skeleton choking on a crust of bread. Woo! There's a red fox torn by a huntsman's pack. There's a black-winged gull with a broken back. I've stood here before inside the pouring rain, with the world turning circles running around my brain. 'Cause I'm always hoping that you'll end this rain. It's my destiny to be the king of pain. Thank you. This next song is called "Let Your Soul Be Your Pilot," and it was inspired largely by a very close friend of mine who had contracted the HIV positive, and a couple of years later it became fully blown AIDS. And the first time he went to hospital, I visited him, and I was really at a loss to know what to bring him. And I just read a book by a Buddhist monk called Sogyal Rinpoche. The book was called The Tibetan Book of Living and Dying, which is sort of an updated version of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And I'd enjoyed this book very much, and it had brought me a lot of solace. The premise of the book is that dying is a process that we all need to be training for, in that we're all dying, whether we have AIDS or not. And I thought that was a good book to give him, and he loved the book, and he got a great deal of pleasure from it. That's all I want to say. This is about my friend.
When you're down and they're counting and your secrets are found out, when your troubles take to mounting, when the map you have leads you to doubt, when there's no information and the compass turns to nowhere that you know where, just let your soul be your pilot. Let your soul guide you and guide you where. And when the doctor failed to heal, when the medicine chest can make you well, when no counsel leads to comfort, when there are no more lies they can't tell, no more useless information, and the compass turns, and the compass spins between heaven and hell. Just let your soul be your pilot. Let your soul guide you, to guide you well. Your eyes turn towards the window pane and the lights upon the hill. The distance seems so strange to you now, and the dark room seems so still. Just let your pain be my sorrow. Let your tears be my tears too. Let your courage be my motto.
Thank you. All right, this song was written in 1976. I just moved to London. It was the 25th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's accession to the throne. It was also the year of punk and the Sex Pistols and anarchy and aggressive music and aggressive lyrics. And just to show you how in tune with the time I was, I wrote this song. Every time, no, what is it? I'll start again. I know now. No. I sing this song every night of my life and it just flew out of my head. I got it. Though I've tried before to tell her of the feelings I have for her in my heart. Every time that I come near her, I just lose my nerve as I've done from the start. She does is magic. Everything she do just turn me on. Even though my life before was tragic, now I know my love for her goes on. Do I have to tell a story of 1,000 rainy days since we first met? It's a big enough umbrella, but it's always me that ends up getting wet. Every little thing she does is magic. Everything she do just turn me on. Even though my life before was tragic, now I know my love for her goes on and on. I resolve to call her up 1,000 times a day and ask her if she'll marry me in some old-fashioned way. But my silent fears will grip me long before I reach the phone, long before my tongue has tripped me. Must I always be alone? Every little thing she does is magic. Everything she do just turn me on. Even though my life before was tragic, now I know my love for her goes on. Thank you. Thank you. I'll sing a couple of verses of this and then I'll explain something about it. Dominic? What, you on Valium or something? Wait. What was this, the slow version? All right. Must be the heat. Seven weeks have passed now since she left me. And she shows her face to ask me how I am. She says the kids are fine, that they miss me. Maybe I could come and babysit sometimes. She says, are you okay? I was worried about you. Can you forgive me? I hope that you'll be happy. I see.
I'm so happy that I can't stop crying. I'm so happy I'm laughing through my tears. Saw a friend of mine this day, I was worried about you. I heard she had another man. I wondered how you felt about it. I said, I'm so happy that I can't stop crying. I'm so happy I'm laughing through my tears. Saw my lawyer, Mr. Good News, he got me joint custody and legal separation. I'm so happy that I can't stop crying. I'm laughing through my tears. I'm laughing through my tears.
Thank you. Okay, we have 3 verses there, which is basically, you know, setting up the situation. The guy has been left by his wife, and the 2 kids have gone, and he's obviously clearly unhappy. His friend's worried about him. The lawyer's got, you know, joint custody, legal separation, which simply doesn't make him happy either. And what happens in the middle 8, he goes for a walk, and he looks at the stars, and he sees, like any amateur astrologer, some sort of analog for his life in the stars. He chooses a star for himself, a star for the man who's run off with his wife and 2 kids. And something, as I say, something makes him smile. Something eases the pain, and he can't really explain it. A friend sees him again, and he says, there's something different about you. And he says, well, you can't live in the darkness all the time. So I haven't left this character stuck or trapped in his obsessions like the character in Every Breath You Take. He's moved on, and I think that for that reason it's a very positive song. So if we go to the bridge, you'll see what happens. 2, 3, 4.
I took a walk alone last night. I looked up at the stars to try and find an answer in my life. I chose a star for me, I chose a star for him. Chose 2 stars for my kids and 1 star for my wife. Something made me smile, something seemed to ease the pain. Something about the universe and how it's all connected. The park is full of Sunday fathers and melted ice cream. We try to do the best within our given time. The kid should be with his mother. Everybody knows that. But what can a father do but babysit sometime? So that friend of mine is there. You look different somehow. See, everybody got to leave that darkness sometimes. I see. I'm so happy that I can't stop crying. I'm laughing through my tears. I'm laughing through my tears. So happy that I can't stop crying. I'm laughing through my tears. I'm laughing through my tears.
Thank you. Okay, this song, it's another one of those songs that people identify me with. It was written in '76 or something. And it was the subject of a great sketch on Saturday Night Live. And I was in an elevator with Dana Carvey, and they start singing, you know, my songs to me and at me. And Roxanne! The funny thing is, this happens to me almost every day of my life. And you know something? I really don't mind, because I'll be walking down the street in New York, and you know, construction workers will start singing Roxanne at me, and postmen and taxi drivers. You know, Eddie Murphy sang it in 48 Hours. The first time it happened, I was. It suddenly went into the charts in England against all the odds, and we were playing in Stoke, which is in the Midlands in England. And I woke up in my hotel room one morning, and the window cleaner was cleaning my windows in a hotel. Roxanne, you don't have to put on it. I thought, I've made it. Actually, I've made it. It's a Chinese folk song. So, I mean, I sing this song every night of my life. I never tire of it. It's hard to sing, but I love it. All right. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to say about it through the night. Roxanne, you don't have to wear that dress tonight. Walk the streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. I love you since I knew you. I wouldn't talk now to you. I have to tell you just how I feel. I won't share you with another boy. You know my mind is made up, so put away your makeup. Told you once, I won't tell you again. It's a bad way. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. I like Groucho Marx's quote, never belong to a club that would have you as a member. And, I think I subscribe to that very dearly. But this next song came to me when I was in Brazil. I have a great fondness for Brazil. I've been there many times. And I met what I could best describe as a shaman who happens to have a degree in chemistry, actually. And he was explaining to me something. He was saying that sunlight has a lot of elements. It's composed of a lot of elements. And one of them is lithium. And as you know, lithium is a medication given to the depressed. It's a very successful drug. But it actually exists in sunlight, and at sunrise and sunset, you can look into the sun without damage, and the eye does not filter yellow light, so this lithium goes straight to the brain. So that's the reason why people should look at the sunset, why we get a great deal of solace and comfort from looking at the sunset or the sunrise. So I wrote a song called Lithium Sunset, which is basically an ode to this natural medication, which is available to all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doctor. Now fill my eyes, oh lithium sunset, and take this lonesome burden away from my mind, and take this heartache of city and darkness, and for my darkness, inside your yellow light. I've been scattered, I've been shattered, I've been knocked out of the race, but I'll get better. I see your light upon my face, heal my soul, oh lithium sunset, and I'll ride the turning world into another night.
On the guitar, Mr. Dominic Miller. On the drums, Mr. Vinny Colaiuta. On the keyboard, Mr. Kenny Kirkland. Now you gotta clap. This is on 2 and 4. It couldn't be easier.